Editing on console can be a real challenge if you don't use the right techniques or settings. So in this video, I will cover a few things that will make you edit faster and more consistently on console. Since I am playing on the PC, I am going to cap my FPS at 60 to help demonstrate the tricks that you can use to help eliminate those difficulties. On console, one of the main disadvantages you get is input delay. On most modern gaming PCs, the input delay is around 10 milliseconds, whereas consoles usually have over 30, and it's 3 times what PC players get. This means doing triple edits or other consecutive edits is going to be hard. Instead of being able to edit the next piece 10 milliseconds after the initial edit, you need to wait 30 on console. To accommodate this issue, we need to build muscle memory. Building muscle memory is essential on console as you don't want to waste any more time thinking about which tiles you are going to select. To build muscle memory, you need to start performing the next edit before the first edit finishes on the screen. The screen may not show up the completed edits while you are doing the second, but if you register 2 edits before it happens, it will finish the edit still. The best way to build muscle memory is practice editing with your eyes closed. It might sound crazy, but if you edit with your eyes closed, this means you are performing those mechanics purely from memory. It eliminates your thinking time and therefore improving your speed and consistency. To set this up, all you have to do is load up a simple editing map like the one I'm using on the screen. Walk up to a course and start making your way up with your eyes closed. You don't have to do multiple edits at a time, just finish one layer, open your eyes, and repeat the process. Editing sense is another important aspect for enhancing your editing speed. While you are in the settings, you should also try turning off replays to help reduce input delay. Anyways, go to the controller tab and make sure your editing sense multiplier is either 2 or above 2. If you play with a really high sense, I'd advise you to lower it so that you can take advantage of this setting. The reason why you should use a multiplier of 2 is because your normal sense should be a lot slower for more consistent aim. When you're editing, precision is not that important, so this multiplier will reduce the amount of movement you use on your thumb. With less movement, less time is used for each edit, which means faster editing speed. Another setting to help reduce thumb movement is the dead zone. Dead zone determines which area of the joystick will input your thumb movement into the game. You can look at it as the smaller the dead zone, the more sensitive your control is. The bigger the dead zone, the less sensitive it is. Having a smaller dead zone is generally better since you don't have to move your thumb that much for the input to register. The faster the controller sends out a signal, the faster you can perform an edit, and this is what small dead zone does. It further reduces the delay. Note that having a small dead zone can cause drifting, so find one that is small and has no drift. For keyboard players on console, there is no editing sense, so try to find a sense where you can aim, build, and edit easily. Remember that aim is more important and choose the sense that gives you the most consistent aim. The next thing you should work on is selecting optimal editing tiles. If you struggle to edit fast, selecting the least amount of tiles as possible can slowly build up the foundation for a fast editing speed. Say you want to edit through a wall. Instead of selecting 4 tiles, you can use 3 depending on the situation. Theoretically, you should only use 4 tiles if you're editing for a peak, editing for your teammate, or when performing a tunnel in the team mode. Another example would be using less tiles when doing double or triple edits. Many people nowadays use 2 tiles for the floor and cone, but they don't realize that using 1 tile is the fastest and most optimal. The only time where you want to use 2 tiles is when there is an opponent on top or when performing a retake. There are many more ways that you can utilize selecting easier tiles, and if mastered, this can dramatically improve your overall editing speed. Crosshair placement is another key factor to improving your editing speed. I'm sure many of you already know this, but probably only a few of you actually apply it to your gameplay. To start off, crosshair placement can be used in any situation that requires selecting more than 2 tiles. The easiest way to explain this is whenever you're selecting over 2 tiles, you want to be selecting them as close to the intersection / the invisible line in between. This is what it should look like when editing a wall with 3 tiles. And this is what it should look like when editing a floor or cone. I'd advise you to start focusing where your crosshair is placed when editing, otherwise you won't get any faster. One way to practice crosshair placement is to lower your sense. This method is very effective since when you play on a lower sensitivity, it forces you to make good use of your crosshair. And this has been it for the video. I hope you guys learned something. Consider dropping a sub. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
You think I need you? Don't you know you're the one that'll hold me back? No, I won't miss you.